Hey kids, what's happening? It's Saturday. Saturday around here is a work day. And when you got a place like ours, nothing comes free. You gotta work to keep it in any kind of decent shape. So you see the rugs are hung out there to air, and among other things, I got a whole bunch of projects I need to get done around here. I just bought some trees yesterday, and I planted a plum tree yesterday, but I've got 6 little white pines right here. Now, I buy those every year, and I've been putting them around the borders because eventually I know that farm over there, that agricultural property, is going to sell, and they're going to build houses over there. And I don't want to see them from here, so I'm going to, keep planting pines there. I've got some that I'll show you over here that I planted just last maybe a year or 2 ago, and they're doing extremely well. As I got them tucked right in the woods here. Got one right there. Got another one right there. I got some more going down that way. I also have them way back there on the other side of the property. So they'll give us some privacy in the far future if we're still around. Never know from one day to the next when God's going to pull your number. But hey, I'm always planning ahead. Anyway, I'm going to take a little break right now just to sit around in the man cave and chit-chat. It's somewhat cool in here. It's pretty hot out there today. Some of you guys have been asking me what's safe to wear on your leather as far as patches and pins and things like that go. And I've always said the rule of thumb is don't represent something that you're not, to be on the safe side. Now, some people don't like to be on the safe side. They feel like they're tough enough to defend themselves in any situation. So I've heard this too: I'll wear whatever I want to wear. Well, okay, good luck with that, but it depends on the company you keep. Now, if you're in the motorcycle culture, you're gonna ride with other bikers. You're gonna go to biker events. You might go to biker parties. You might go to biker poker runs, gatherings, fundraisers. You may even go to a biker bar to hang out and have a few beers. But as a result of doing that, eventually, one day, you're going to run into some 1% bikers. What's 1%? Well, these are the guys that are hardcore that you don't want to tangle with. You just don't want to get involved. So, obviously, you don't want to represent them in any way, shape, or form. The most common thing that people fail on is their back patch. A new biker might go buy himself a leather, and he's going to throw a rocker on there, and I don't know what it would say, maybe even a bottom rocker and a patch, and he's not really a club member of anything. It's just something that he liked. And you can buy these patches when you go to these swap meets and these you go to Sturgis or Daytona or whatever. They got shops where you can buy all this stuff. Just be careful what you put on your jacket. I'll show you something. Here is an example. I got my old vest hanging up here, and on the front of my vest, not much. I basically got some hog pins, and I've got so many of these things. My jacket would weigh 20 pounds if I put all the pins on there that I have. Okay, I got a hog patch on there that's been on there since who knows when. a Christian pin, some other odd award pins I've got, a Sturgis pin, a POW pin, and a skull patch. Now, I used to have a club patch right here. And you'll see it's gone. I think you can just barely see the stitching where it was. I'll show you on the back. I had a top rocker right there. You can barely see where the stitching was, and then my back patch here. But I did not have a bottom rocker because it was not a 1% club. It was just an organized motorcycle club. Also got some patches down below here. These are fine. I mean, you could pretty much put anything you want at the bottom of your jacket. I mean, look at my old leather jacket that I keep on my bike. This is actually the bottom of my jacket, you know, the back part here. So I've got Laconia, Sturgis, Rolling Thunder event, Chillicothe, another Sturgis. So those patches I just kept sewing on the bottom of my leather. Now, I don't wear that jacket anymore. I keep it rolled up on here. Sometimes if we're out and it's cold, the wife can put it on, but that one doesn't fit me too well anymore. So I have a brand new leather jacket that has no patches on it at all. I have some patches I could put on there, but there's a couple issues, you know. I mean, I'm not really hanging out with the biker crowd anymore. I do ride, but you know, I'm not representing any kind of a club or anything like that. Plus, my leather jacket is pretty nice, and you know, I could wear it to church if I have to. And if I start putting patches on it, that kind of changes the perspective of it a little bit. So the other thing is, it's not so easy to get a patch sewn on your leather jacket. If you have a nice heavy cowhide leather jacket, a regular sewing machine isn't going to sew a patch on there. You're going to have to take it to somebody that has a leather machine with a bigger, stouter needle that can punch through the leather, that can sew your patches on there. And a lot of times if you go to like a swap meet or an event, they may have somebody there that does patches, that sews them on for you. I've seen that too, and I've had patches sewn on that way. But my jacket stays clean for now. So anyway, I could tell you a story of you know, some years ago when I walked into a biker bar. And I just walked in there to have a beer, and that was it. I wasn't really hanging out very long or anything. And it was pretty crowded in there. There was a lot of people in there hanging out. My son was serving in Iraq at the time. He was an 82nd Airborne paratrooper. And he sent me a little chrome paratrooper pin and asked me to wear it for him. So I pinned that on my leather jacket, and I had this little, you know, Army Airborne, 82nd Airborne pin on my jacket. Well, wouldn't you know it, this one percenter saw that on my jacket and pointed it out to me. He said, "Did you serve in the 82nd Airborne?" I said, "No, I did not." And right away he got in my face about it, because he said I was representing something that I was not. Well, I explained to him right away. I said, hold on. My son is serving in Iraq right now, and he's 82nd Airborne, and he sent me this pin to wear for him. So I'm wearing it to honor him, and that's all. Oh, so he was cool with that. He said, okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I just wanted to make sure you're not trying to represent something you're not. It's just something as simple as this little chrome pin that I had on my jacket. So, yeah, you know, you can run into, if you run into the wrong person, it's hard to tell what is going to happen depending on the you know, whatever patches or paraphernalia you put on your leather or your denim or whatever you're wearing when you ride. Um, I had another situation many years ago where, I walked into a bar, and unbeknown to me, it was one of these bars that had, the bar was over here like a big U-shaped bar, and it was all crowded with people sitting around there. And then there was like another room, a large room on the right that had pool tables and stuff over there and some booths. Well, I walked up to the bar and got myself a drink, and I was just kind of hanging out there getting a refreshment, and then I was going to take off again. Now this was in the evening, it was after dark, probably about 10, 11 o'clock, something like that. And little did I know, in the other room at the pool table was a one percenter club. And one of the members came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, somebody wants to talk to you. And I looked very questioned, I thought, well, what's going on? What did I do? He said, the boss wants to talk to you. Well, I thought I was in trouble there, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on, but I'm not a coward. I'm not going to run. So he took me into the other room where the pool tables were, and back in the corner there was a guy sitting there at a booth, and he invited me to come sit down there. Told me that he was the club president. Asked me a whole bunch of questions. Now, it was all regarding to patches that I had on my jacket. And he just wanted to make sure that I wasn't affiliated with any kind of a club or anything like that. And once we cleared the air and I let him know that I'm independent, I just ride alone. I don't ride with a club, and I'm done with that scene. He was good about it. And he introduced me to some of his other club members there. And they even invited me to a party to join them at one of their parties they were hosting, a fundraiser thing, which I did not go, but nonetheless, I wouldn't say I was lucky. I was just smart that I wasn't representing something that I was not. I was just totally honest with him, and he just looked over everything that I had, and it wasn't representative of anyone. It wasn't supportive of any specific club. Had I been wearing a support patch for another club, I might have got my tail whooped, and it might not have been very pretty. In fact, it could have ended up real bad. But anyway, that's that. I hope that clears it up for some of you. Don't represent something that you're not in the motorcycle world. If you want to wear a rocker, you're pushing those limits, I would say, unless you are in a club. If you're in a club, go ahead, you can wear the rocker. You're representing that club. If you are not in a club, don't put a rocker on there. Don't put a bottom rocker on there. I mean, you could wear a back patch, that's fine, because the back patch just might be an eagle or a flag or something like that. But if you do put a rocker on, it might be okay, because it might not be representing a specific club. But you run into the wrong people, they're going to question it. And depending on who you run into, some don't take it very lightly at all. Now, does that make it wrong or right? No, there's no wrong or right here, because these bikers that represent these 1% clubs, they don't give a darn about wrong or right. It's whatever they think. And if they don't like it, then I'll say a prayer for you, okay? We'll put it that way. My best advice to you, if you're not in a 1% club, and you have no interest in being in a 1% club, and you get into a spot where there's 1%ers around there, probably better off just to kind of mosey on your own way, or mind your own business. Ignore them. Stay away from that kind of environment, and you'll be okay. Oh boy, well, cats, I should get back to the grind. I've got stuff. I want to get these little pine trees in the ground, and I was hoping to do that today, but it's already late in the afternoon. Just never enough time in one day to get everything done that you want to get done, Nonetheless, I got to take my breaks. I got to take time to chit-chat with you guys, so Appreciate you joining me, and I appreciate everybody's support, not only for my channel, but I appreciate the prayers and the support for my wife, V. She is doing well today. Doesn't mean that she is well. She's always in some kind of a struggle or battle with this cancer and other things that are kind of affected by it too. So appreciate all the prayers and the concerns and the support. Give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Love to have you guys join the troops here. Until next time, cats, ride hard and die free.